Hello, and welcome. Today we're kicking off a special series on Eccox APT, the tool that's genuinely changing the game for mainframe testing. Together, we'll unlock a new level of agility, security, and, of course, productivity. Ready to roll? Who here has ever needed to test something on a mainframe environment? You've probably felt trapped in a real maze, right? This session is exactly about that. Today we'll dive into Eccox APT, a tool built to knock down those walls and finally unleash true development agility. Let's see how it works in practice. Yep, familiar territory for anyone living the day-to-day of mainframe dev, right? It's a maze, dependencies everywhere, shared environments all over. You know the drill, one simple test, one tiny change, and suddenly you've stalled the whole team. A headache many squads know up close. And then comes the question that won't go away, the one keeping tech leads and devs up at night. How do we break out of this cycle? That's what we're going to unpack now, how to get out of the maze and, more importantly, how to accelerate innovation for real. Alright, before the solution, we need to size the problem. Think of it as the innovation traffic jam. Here's the heart of it, the big clash. On one side, agile teams buzzing with ideas, ready to ship. On the other, all of them crammed into the same single test environment, tripping over one another. There's only one name for this, a recipe for chaos. And that chaos isn't theoretical. It has very real consequences. Suddenly, the database one team needed, corrupted by another team, programs updated with zero notice, breaking everyone's tests at once. Cue the infernal loop, configure, test, it breaks, redo everything. The outcome? Delayed projects, that much anticipated feature pushed back for weeks, and worst of all, critical bugs slipping straight into production. Think about it, dozens of high-performance race cars, all trying to reach the same destination, but forced onto a single-lane road. It doesn't matter how powerful the engine or how elite the driver, gridlock is inevitable. That's where innovation stalls, stuck in traffic. Okay, so how do you fix a jam like that? The answer isn't slowing everyone down. Quite the opposite. If one lane can't handle the flow, the fix is straightforward. Build more lanes, dedicated express lanes for each team. Here's the kicker. What if every team had its own express lane? A private track with zero congestion. That's exactly what Eccox APT delivers with its test tracks, fully isolated environments that teams can create and manage self-service, autonomous, fast, and without waiting on anyone. So what does an isolated test track look like in practice? Think of a perfect clone of production, staging, or an in-development change, whatever the user needs, but private. It belongs to that team alone. It's a private sandbox, a playground where the team can build, test, break, and fix with total freedom, and, crucially, without disturbing the neighbors. Now the contrast jumps out. On one side, the old way, frustration, teams butting heads, everyone squeezed into a slow, shared environment. On the other, with APT, it's a different story, pure velocity. Workstreams run in parallel, each in its own track, accelerating non-stop. It's literally the difference between being stuck in gridlock and flying down an express lane with no speed limit. Okay, it might feel like magic, but it's a well-defined process. How does APT build these private express lanes? It happens in 4 core steps. Step 1, create test tracks. Define the basics, test plan name, cost center. Simple. Step 2, discovery. Here's where the magic begins. The tool acts like a detective, scanning and automatically selecting everything required. Programs, JCL, tables, the works. Step 3, cloning. With that map in hand, APT creates a bit-perfect copy of every discovered component. Step 4, unique ID. This is the master key. A unique identifier works like GPS, routing every application call straight to the newly cloned track. That's what guarantees total isolation. Practically speaking, what used to take days, sometimes weeks, of tedious manual work and endless back and forth now happens automatically, and much faster. A perfect copy of production, ready to use, in a fraction of the time. It's the difference between pushing a boulder uphill and riding a moving walkway. Okay, the tech is impressive. But what matters is business impact. What are the tangible gains? Let's look at that now. The best part is how directly the gains hit the pains we flagged up front. Test conflicts? End of the line. Multiple squads can develop and test simultaneously, in parallel. That's a huge leap in agility. And that old headache of preparing test data? Also history. You can preserve and restore data with a single click. Less rework, more productivity, within a self-service model, fully autonomous and under the team's control. If there's one number that sums up the impact, it's this. an average 25 to 39% reduction in total project time. To put it in perspective, a project slated for a full year can land in 9 months, 3 months ahead of plan. That's not just improvement, it's a step change in delivery capacity. This snapshot tells the story, a before and after you can feel. Version and data conflicts? Resolved. Squads test simultaneously on parallel tracks. Production incidents? They drop, because test quality rises. Slow environment setup? Replaced by fast, automated provisioning. In short, for every chronic problem, APT brings a direct, effective fix. In the end, it all comes down to one purpose: empowering development teams. The idea behind technology like this is to give teams the right levers to work with more agility, quality, and efficiency, unlocking the potential they already have. Today we saw the way out of the mainframe maze. And the solution isn't to hit the brakes on innovation, it's to build private express lanes so innovation can floor it. The question that lingers: how much faster could your dev team go with its own open track? To truly understand APT's power, we need to look under the hood. At the fundamentals that hold this technology together. That's exactly where we're headed next. We'll dive deep into the concepts that make APT work, what a test track really is, how it manages its clone components, what a data snapshot is, your time machine, and the secret sauce, how unique IDs operate, the GPS of your tests. It's a technical deep dive worth your while. Thanks for watching, see you next time.